Welcome to another video in a series about using Google Classroom with NVDA or JAWS. This is the second of two parts exploring the assignment details page. In this part, we will see how to add, create, and remove an attachment. Although I'm demonstrating using NVDA, the commands in JAWS are very similar. I've opened up an assignment I want to work on from Class 1. When working on the assignment details page, I always want to start from the assignment title, and I remember that I can get there by using the shortcut key H for heading. So I'll press H now.
Clickable navigation landmark Class 1 visit main landmark 9-7 discussion prep Boreal Wetland Basin heading level 1.
That's the title of my assignment. So now I'm going to use the down arrow and listen to the instructions.
Menu 6 instructions. Watch the attached video about the Yukon Flats National Wildlife Refuge. Create a Google Doc with your notes about the video so you will be prepared for the discussion on Monday.
So I've already watched this video, which is the described video, and I'm ready to do what the instructions told me, and that is to create a Google Doc with my notes about the video. So I'm going to navigate to the Add or Create button so I can create my Google Doc. I'll just use my down arrow until I hear Add or Create button.
Link attach, link basin, class comment, add class out of edit button unavailable, no, complementary land assigned. Menu button collapsed submenu add or create.
There's the Add or Create button, so I'm going to press Enter.
Google Drive 1 of 7.
I heard Google Drive 1 of 7. There are 7 items on this menu. The first 3 are for adding, and the last 4 are for creating. Let's go one by one and hear what they are. We know that option 1 was to add something from Google Drive. I'll push the down arrow.
Link 2 of 7.
Link, we can add a link here. The next down arrow.
File 3 of 7.
File, we could upload a file. And now that was the third one. The next one, the fourth one, is going to start our creates. So I'll push a down arrow.
Docs 4 of 7.
I could create a Google Doc.
Slides 5 of 7.
I could create Google Slides.
Sheet 6 of 7.
I could create a Google Sheet. And the last one,
Drawing 7 of 7.
I could create a Google Drawing. So depending on what you want to do, you can choose one of these options. In this case, we were asked to create a new Google Doc, so I'm going to use my arrows until I hear Docs.
Sheet 6 of 7, Slides 5 of 7, Docs 4 of 7.
That's the option I want, so I will press Enter.
Complementary landmark add or create menu button unavailable collapsed submenu. Creating document. Untitled Google Chrome Sally Student. Sally Student 9-7 discussion prep. Boreal Wetland Basin Google Docs Google Chrome Sally Student. Sally Student 9-7 discussion prep. Boreal Wetland Basin Google Docs document. Application. Document content edit multi-line. To enable screen reader support, press Ctrl-Alt-Z to learn about keyboard shortcuts, press Ctrl/.
I listened to that entire thing because I wanted to see if screen reader support was enabled. And in this case it was not, and it told me the shortcut keys so I could enable screen reader support, which was Ctrl-Alt-Z. So I'm going to press that key combo now.
Screen reader support enabled. Blank. Screen reader support enabled. On page 1.
And now screen reader support is enabled. So what has happened behind the scenes is that Google Classroom created a Google Doc. It has already attached it to the assignment details page, and it has opened up a new tab in Google Chrome with the Google Doc. Now that I have screen reader support enabled, I can just start typing whatever I want to type for this assignment. my notes about the video that I watched. I'll just type something simple since this is just for demonstration purposes.
I S O E E V I D E O O.
We know that Google Docs automatically saves what we're working on, so when we're finished, we can just use Control W to close this window.
9-7 Discussion Prep, Boreal Wetland Basin Google Chrome Sally Student.
So our Google Doc was created and saved and is now attached to our assignment. Now let's see how to add a file that we have already created. We'll again navigate to the Add or Create button, starting with the heading.
Main Landmark 9-7 Discussion Prep, Boreal Wetland Basin Heading Level 1.
And navigate to the Add or Create button.
Menu, do, in, Google, link, class, add class, out of edit, complementary, assigned, visited link attachment, Google Docs, button remove Sally, menu button collapsed sub-menu add or create.
There's our Add or Create button, so I'm going to press Enter.
Google Drive 1 of 7, menu.
This time I want to add something that I've already saved on my Google Drive, and that's where I am, so I will press Enter.
In banner landmark, files and folders grid view. List. Sally Student 9-7 Discussion Prep, Boreal Wetland Basin Shared Google Docs not selected 1 of 4.
We get a pop-up that allows us to insert files using Google Drive. If you press the Tab key, you'll hear exactly that.
Banner landmark insert files using Google Drive heading level 2.
Mostly we use Tab navigation on this dialog box. I'll push Tab again.
Search landmark. Search in Drive combo box expanded has autocomplete editable blank.
Now I'm in the search box, and the search is a great way to find the specific document or file that you're looking for. That way you don't have to navigate through a lot of files and folders to find what you're looking for. But let's see what other options are on this dialog. I'm going to press Tab again.
Collapsed. Filter button.
There's a filter button.
Close picker insert files using Google Drive button.
That's just the close button for this dialog. One more tab.
Tab control. Recent tab selected 1 of 4.
Now I've entered tab control. It said I'm on the recent tab and it's 1 of 4. Let's use our right arrow to hear the other tabs. Right arrow.
Upload tab selected 2 of 4.
This is where we could upload a file. We can browse to files. One more right arrow.
My Drive tab selected 3 of 4.
And then finally one more right arrow.
Start tab selected 4 of 4.
If I had anything starred, I could get to it there. So you just navigate to the file that you want to upload, and then you will press Enter. I'm going to go back to recent by using my left arrow.
My Drive tab selected, Upload tab selected 2, Recent tab selected 1 of 4.
And I've got to my recent file, so I'm going to hit Tab twice.
List view button. Files and folders grid view. List. Sally Student 9-7 Discussion Prep, Boreal Wetland Basin.
Now I'm down in the grid view of my recent files, and I know that I worked on something very recently that I can add, so I'm just going to navigate by arrow till I find it.
Sally Student 9-7 Discussion Prep, Boreal Wetland Basin Shared Google Docs.
That's not it.
Sally Student 9-7 Writing Assignment Shared Google.
That's the one I want. Once I hear the one I want, I can press Enter.
Selected. 9-7 Discussion Prep, Boreal Wetland Basin Document.
And as soon as I press Enter, that file gets attached to the assignment. So that's how to add a file to an assignment. Now let's see how to remove an attachment from an assignment. If the assignment action button is either turn in or resubmit, you will have the ability to remove any previously attached files or links. When you navigate to a file or a link that you've already attached, the next down arrow will give you access to the remove button for that item. I want to caution you to be very careful with the remove button. The remove will happen as soon as you press enter on the button. There is no "Are you sure?" This is especially important to know if using the remove button attached to a personal copy of a Google file your teacher made for you. Removing that file will delete the entire file along with anything you previously entered. The only time you want to use that remove button on a personal copy of a file your teacher made for you is if you want to start all over with a blank document. You will get an opportunity to create a blank copy of the file to start over with. So let's see how to use the remove button. I am working on an assignment, and I'm going to go to the title of my assignment because I always start my navigation from there. So I will use H or Shift H to get to the title.
No next heading. Main landmark 9-7 writing assignment heading level 1.
So I've been working on this assignment and I have two attachments currently. I have the personal copy of the Google Doc file that my teacher attached for me to use. And then I also added a link. Now I haven't turned this assignment in yet, so the action button is still in the turn in state. So the remove button should be available to me. Let's navigate to those attachments and see what is available. I'll use my down arrow until I get to the Your Work section, and then I'll slow down so I can listen for my attachments.
Menu 6. September 100. Do September. Read the two. Writing a comparing the visited class comment. Add class out of edit button unavailable. Complimentary landmark your work.
There's your work, so I'm going to slow down.
Assigned. Link attachment. Google Docs. Sally Student 9-7 writing assignment.
There's the personal copy of the Google Doc my teacher made for me. I'm going to push one more down arrow.
Button remove Sally Student 9-7 writing assignment.
And there's the remove button for that attachment. I'm going to press enter now, but I'm reminding myself that when I do that, that file will be gone. So I'm pressing enter to remove it.
Unavailable. Removing item from submission. Item has been removed from the submission.
And I immediately got a notice by the screen reader that that file has been removed. The other thing that happened as soon as I pressed enter was that Google Classroom put up a pop-up offering to make a copy of that file for me to start over with. But we didn't hear the screen reader say anything about that offer. So we have to immediately navigate and try to find that offer. We'll do it like we usually do, and that is to start from the heading of the title of the assignment. So I'll press H.
No next heading. Main landmark 9-7 writing assignment heading level 1.
And now I'm going to press my down arrow until I hear the assignment status. It's right after your work because that is where the offer is going to be. So just use your down arrow until you hear your work.
Menu but 6. September 100. Do read the two. Writing a comparing the visited link class add class out of edit button. Complimentary landmark your work.
I'm going to go slow now.
Assigned.
And now one more down arrow.
A file 6. Math copied for you was removed. Template 9-7 writing assignment.
So there is the offer about the file. One more down arrow.
Button make a copy.
And there's the button to make a copy. And I'm going to press enter, and then I will get a fresh copy of that personal copy that the teacher made for me to use.
Unavailable. Copying. File copied and attached.
And when it's successful, you hear file copied and attached. So you can start over with that attachment. So that's a little bit about adding, creating, and removing attachments for a class assignment.